The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
All right, it's the Monday Morning Quarterback, divorcemenonly.com. Hick, I'd like to make like a pinky promise here. I'd like to address something so that
I can't break those, Jeff.
Well, okay, but here's the deal. There's going to be this nonstop flood on the. It's almost like we need to have a Guggen State of the Union and make an announcement so that we don't have to make it over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. Okay, but the texts or the calls of why are we not talking about who needs to go? All right, I don't. Well, that's not a talking point, right? We all see this ship has been run into a glacier.
Yeah.
They're a terrible football team, and I would imagine and assume the accountability will be called upon everyone involved at the end of the year.
No question.
But until there is an opening, there's like no way to forward that story unless you're talking about replacements, something we're not going to do. We're not going to talk about replacing people who currently have jobs with, hypothetical people. We're certainly aware that this ship is listing.
We just talked about it for an hour and 20 minutes. Our drill poll question today presented by Lagalaw DUI and Criminal Defense. Know before you blow. Call Lelock at 858-9818. Who do you hold most responsible for the disaster in Indy? Foles, way too rusty. Marone, the team was not ready. Defensive line was run over. Play calling, no Leonard. 1,050 votes already, and 50% hold Doug Marone accountable. Team not ready. And, they were definitely not ready to play. I don't 100%, know why they were.
Coming off a bye week. I'll tell you something else that was like laughed.
I would say all of the above, personally.
Yeah, me too. It was kind of laughed about and chuckled like it was something charming that, this public admission by Leonard that he just laid around and ate gumbo all week. Like that, I don't understand why that's a positive.
I don't know, but
right?
I ain't blaming Leonard.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But it speaks to a mentality.
Yeah.
We're 4-5. We're gonna take a vacation for the week.
I'll say one more thing, and then we'll cover some other topics here in the 10-minute drill. My mom used to say, if you don't say anything positive, don't say anything at all. That's not the case. That can't be the case this morning. Even she would, the late great Junie Bug would agree with that. But with that said, I will say one thing positive. DJ Chark.
Yeah.
DJ Chark had a couple touchdowns and is like having a Pro Bowl season. So what a great development that he's been able to do. Thank you. He now has 8 touchdowns through 10 games.
That's what's the Jaguars' receiving record for touchdowns?
DJ Chark.
Can't do it today.
DJ Chark. No.
Can't do it.
The record is 10 or 11, I believe. Well,
was it Reggie? It's not Reggie Williams, is it still?
Yeah, Martinez had 10.
I think
Reggie might have had
10.
11. I don't remember. I don't care. I really don't care.
Fair enough.
Okay. Let's talk about some other things. Who's the next coach of Florida State?
I don't think it's Bob Stoops.
Well, that sort of came out this weekend.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
I mean, that's straight from like the very top that ain't happening.
Yeah.
So well, Dan, it's the same guys. I don't know. I don't know. It depends on which direction they go. Are they going to go for an accomplished assistant at an ACC school, either one of the Clemson guys that has proven as part of a program that
if you're going to do that, should you go with Odell Higgins?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. I mean, there's probably a reason Odell Higgins has been on a defensive line coach for 21 years, and that might be a heartfelt, sentimental story, but when you have an opportunity to open up what has proven is a top 10 job, then I think you got to make a little bit bigger hire than Odell.
Yeah.
As well as he's done along the way, I don't think that they'll do that. Do you think they'll do that? Do you think he has any chance of getting that job?
I have no idea because the rumors here. I don't
like Mark Stoops a bit.
I got a great
I hope
one.
It's him.
I got a great one on Friday. They put out the fact that there was a report by a newspaper in Tallahassee. Mm-hmm. That would be the Tallahassee Democrat. That said, Bob Stoops is no longer a candidate.
Oh, they did?
And 5 minutes later, I got a text from somebody who said, I know somebody, and gave me one of those. Bob Stoops will be named head coach at 5 o'clock today. I sent him the screenshot and told him to stick to his day job. I felt that had to be.
Sent you Bob Stoops information. What day was that? Done. Saturday? Huh? I was behind when I sent you that.
It already come out when
It
you
had?
sent me that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
but
know.
you got the same information,
Yeah.
obviously.
Gotcha.
In the NFL playoff picture now, it's if you had to play Super Tuesday today, would you take Baltimore or New England?
I take Baltimore.
Baltimore is steamrolling everybody right now.
Yeah, and I think that Lamar is head and shoulders the MVP of the league. As good as Russell Wilson has played this year, I think what Lamar is doing on his side. But because, by the way, Lamar has now beaten in succession Russell Wilson, or maybe not in succession. Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Deshaun Watson.
Pretty impressive.
Boom,
stuff.
boom, boom.
Yeah.
I mean, thoroughly outplayed Deshaun Watson yesterday.
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
Yes.
And those two defenses are the exact same. Like, it's not like, well, Baltimore's defense is great and Houston's not. They're both mediocre defense. They have the exact same stats and totals.
I don't view them the same.
Who do you view as better?
Baltimore.
Well,
much better.
you're going on reputation. Yeah. Baltimore's defense this year has not been, they've given up 196 points.
Yeah.
You
tell me Baltimore's not a top 5 defense in the NFL?
No. They're like 18th, 20th, right down there with Houston.
Wow.
So
From Houston?
You guys from Houston? Houston, we have a problem. Love seeing it's just so sickening, this stinking team that we follow and cover and love. Gosh, it's so frustrating. Because sure enough, just as we said before they went on that trip to London, if they won those 2 games, you know where they'd be? They'd be alone in first. I mean, what a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
What a deadbeat organization who's now going to complain that there's not enough fans at the Bucs game. Yeah, can't wait for that one. Yeah.
I don't think that complaint's going to be
All right,
coming
well,
out.
good. I'm glad to hear it. Is there a team right now off the radar that could win a Super Bowl? Well, there is. Who is it?
There's a team right now off
Sure,
the
there
radar
is.
that can win the Super Bowl.
Maybe it's the Indianapolis Colts. Maybe it's the Raiders.
Oh,
maybe
yeah, there's
it's,
always a team
Yeah,
like
who is
that.
it though? Who do you like? Who could it be? The Vikings? Are they considered under the radar?
No, I wouldn't call them under the radar.
Could it be the
Like
Rams? Could the Rams get right?
Like the Raiders are under the radar.
Yeah,
they're tied with Kansas City for first place.
and they have if the playoffs were today, they'd be in. Raiders. The problem with the Raiders is they're 5-1 at home.
There's not really an under the. I don't know.
You don't see anyone?
I mean, you're asking me basically, is there a 6-4 team?
Yeah, the Rams. Could it be them? No, they just don't look right, do they?
No.
We need the
And
Rams.
I don't
to start
think.
doing
I
some
don't think the
losing.
Texans or the Colts could win the Super Bowl.
Could it be the Falcons?
Falcons? I correctly picked yesterday in an upset.
The
Falcons. Here's what the Falcons are going to do. They're going to get hot and fall a game short of the postseason.
Yeah, go 7-9.
Yeah.
They can't make the postseason.
Yeah.
Minnesota has the second postseason spot.
Yes, at 8-3.
They're 4.5 games, and they beat Atlanta. So
yeah.
I know. There's no.
Next
But you know
to
what?
impossible.
I would rather the Falcons play good and just get lucky on draft day.
But there's a side note for you. The Jags have to go to Atlanta, who are suddenly going to get good, and they're going to annihilate the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. Just so you know.
Yeah, the Jags are very disappointing. So disappointing. That's just so. This is what. I mean, here you are with this chance, and you go back-to-back weeks and lose 59-16. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What a joke.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, every one of you down there should be looking for work.
Yeah.
Seems that way.
Beef, we have a prize pack to give out, don't we, at the end of this?
You're darn tune, Danny.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask you what it was.
It's
What is
okay.
it?
We're going to hook the one Lucky Guggen up with a floral arrangement from our friends at Kuhn Flowers and
good.
lunch for 2 from Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Oh,
It's Monday
wonderful.
Madness over there. Stop by for a Duval Delight smoothie. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, the official smoothie of the Jacksonville
All right,
Jaguars.
let me ask you this. Growing pains are overrated? Who am I talking about? The Gator basketball team.
Oh.
Growing pains are overrated.
Right now, I'd say overrated.
Yeah, they can't shoot, dude.
I'd say overrated. I don't like Scotty Lewis. They told me was a lottery pick. What lottery?
You know what we've learned?
Now
There's
listen.
a big difference in McDonald's All-Americans. Like the top 4 or 5 go to Kentucky and Duke. And
I didn't watch a snippet of that because I was traveling yesterday.
I was watching football, and then I saw they lost, so I said, I'm not even going to bother.
So I didn't watch any Gator basketball yesterday at
but
all.
For the record, again, UConn's no good.
Right.
You didn't lose to a UConn
Right.
team who's any good. They're no
Towson.
good.
They almost lost to Towson there. So Blackshear's a good basketball player. From what I think there's a chance for them to be, I think they'll be a competitive basketball team. But right now, overrated. Yeah, overrated for sure. The 3 kids who came back, only Nemhard's been showing anything. Locke and Keontae Johnson are not doing squat. I mean, it's from what and not seeing the game yesterday, I don't know. So.
The Hawks lost 150 to 101 Saturday night.
Yes, they did. Congratulations. We lost on a buzzer beater to Carolina.
What did you make of the Colin Kaepernick situation on Saturday and how that kind of devolved?
I'll say this. Listen, it's real easy. It was a charade, but the NFL has some accountability as well in this. I don't know why. Like, the one thing I will agree with about the agent is I haven't gotten any calls from anybody about Colin Kaepernick, so I don't understand why all of a sudden there's something going on with the NFL.
They said it was Jay-Z.
Covering it.
They said Jay-Z pushed Goodell to do it to save his own image that took a hit when he joined the NFL.
Jay-Z was ticked about it from what I saw.
Yeah,
so
but the way
I don't know.
it played out-
I think there was something on the NFL side. With that said, whatever your beliefs are, and I mean, there's two sides, and it's interesting to watch some of these, some of the national guys say what they say about it, and like Stephen A. Smith called it a sham and blamed Kaepernick, and they all turned on Stephen A. And but anyway, regardless of what you feel, if you want a job or with an organization, okay, and you go to interview with for the organization, and you don't agree with some of the stuff going on, but you want to work for them, you sort of have to adhere to what they want, don't you? Isn't that called trying to get a job?
You typically don't go for a job interview and yell at the guy trying to hire you. That would be kind of the equivalent.
So, you know, this whole, well, you know, we want transparency. We don't trust. We don't trust the NFL to send the. What are they going to do? Doctor the videotape? I didn't quite get that. So, anyway, the whole thing was a charade on both sides. It is what it is. But if you're an NFL team, you are not going to sign him at all. If you're an NFL team now, you're going to go, I'm going to sign him because why? So I can have this kind of nonsense going on inside my locker room? I already got enough of that crap. You know?
It seemed like a stunt. It seemed like he did it all.
A lot of people say he doesn't look like he wants to play.
Well, that's what I mean. He looked like he went it all just so he could have a post-workout platform to speak out. Yeah. That's what it seemed like, because that didn't look like hope and athleticism. It looked like anger in his eyes when he was done.
When he was talking?
Yeah, that face, that wasn't I just want to get back in the league face. That was a bleep you, everyone involved with the league face. So.
Yeah, I don't think, listen, we know Colin Kaepernick. He was an NFL quarterback. We know he can throw the football, and he showed he can throw the football. So
was 1-11 in his last 12 starts. We can remind folks
right.
that while he didn't have some successes,
it was one of the odder. I'll tell you this about the NFL though, it is not a good weekend for the NFL, and this is why I always wonder about the commissioner who remains, invisible man. You got Myles Garrett's situation on Thursday.
Not good.
You got the Colin Kaepernick situation on Saturday.
Didn't play out
where
very well.
Again, teams did send representatives, and then all of a sudden they're told.
It's an hour away
before the workout, and then
he's late to that.
I believe the Jags sent someone to Atlanta, but then did not go to the next location. And then the refereeing continues to be an issue. It is absolutely
this interference rule is a joke.
Absolutely, and again, did that cost the Jaguars yesterday? No,
may have.
But I will say this. The PIs on Trey Herndon
were less than that one.
By far.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple where they don't call anything.
Right.
I don't get it, man.
And then they miss it and you challenge and then they just miss it again. Yeah.
Although there's no point in again.
Yeah, but see that
every NFL coach should adopt this policy. That is not a rule. We are not going to challenge anything. Unless it's like the end of the game and we have no other choice.
I just don't understand how you can say you can challenge and then watch the defender grab the player's jersey for 9 yards.
Yes.
And not call it and say that's not interference.
I can't wait for the postseason when this comes up and they either reverse it or they deny it and it costs the team a game because it's going to be fantastic. So
I'm with
the
you.
NFL, again, I don't know what bylaw you have to do. I don't know if I would abolish that rule so fast. It is a joke. It is a joke, and there's no point in it. Guns Hockey League's kid yesterday was inept. They're no good, man. They're just no good. It's frustrating as heck to watch. But with that said, again, that's not why the reason the Jacksonville Jaguars are 4-6 and in last place in the AFC South with a trip to Tennessee coming up on Sunday. So, bad weekend for the NFL, though. Bad weekend.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, just
and a bad weekend for Alabama and Tua Tagovailoa, and inevitably the try and connect dots between the other injury and this one. Or
I'll say this though, this one smacks to me a little bit, and I think we always disagreed on this. I'm not positive, but this one smacks to me a little bit of the Shanny RG3 thing. I find some fault in Nick Saban on this one, man. I find some fault. It was dumb. Listen, he was a game day decision anyway. You didn't need him, but because of this stupid system we have where, you have to not just win but impress everyone, Alabama fell victim to it and threw Tua out there, and they're up 35-7, and we're going to practice the 2-minute drill? Get him out of the game, man.
He was literally about to pull him out, too. You want to talk about terrible luck.
Yeah. But he shouldn't have been in. He shouldn't have been in. I'm sorry. I hate to say. I mean, and they use that kid up, and that poor kid he's gonna deal with some. I have no idea what's next for him. I'm rooting for him. I'm praying for him because he deserves an opportunity to play in the NFL. But he ain't going in the top 5 of the first round now.
Well,
he may not even
depends
be
on what the recovery time is.
No.
I mean, it's the same injury that C.J. Mosley had at Alabama, and he's.
I'll bet you right now, a dime bet, he doesn't go in the top 5 of the draft next year.
Well, again, it depends. I'm not going to make that bet, not knowing what the recovery process is.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, would a guy who broke his leg not go in the top 5?
That's different.
Why?
Well, first off, we don't even know what the hip situation is. If there's any of those blood vessel
correct.
bleeding,
That's true.
that becomes the Bo
But the
Jackson
word is
situation.
that's not that it was.
But there is a fracture in there.
Yeah, but the word is that it was, that it got replaced and reset and was as manageable as.
The proper term, Jeff, is reduced.
Is reduced?
Yes.
Okay.
They reduced it immediately. But I hate it for him. I hate it for him because he's a good kid, and he did everything he could do, and he's a tough kid, and he played through surgeries and, all kinds of nonsense. And really, quite honestly, I think this could change college football, too, in a lot of ways. I think we're headed down the track. We already have the skip in the bowl games. We already have guys stepping out and redshirting. I mean, there's major change coming in college football. And the fact that Tua hasn't profited one penny from this is and may not, NFL career in somewhat of jeopardy could be terrible, So we shall see. All right, let's do this. Let's do caller number 3 at 641-1010. Lots of Jags talk coming your way. Friday 5-pack results momentarily. And we'll do caller number 3 right now at 641-1010 if you'd like that prize pack. That includes what, Beefer?
Caller number 3 right now, 641-1010. Going to take home a floral arrangement with free delivery from our friends at Kuhn Flowers and lunch for 2 from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Take advantage. It's Monday Madness. Stop by for a Duval Delight smoothie. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars.